Time.
Long live the king.
Yes. People, it's that time again. It's Dbja Podcast Sundays. The gang are back. Yo, it's episode 3. We're doing well. It's DJ Daddy UK. You know me. Mad Boss, aka Bipolar. We got Mr. John Niceness. A1RS. Yo.
What do I do?
So, as we start off every show, I'm going to play a clip. Then we're all going to reason and let the people come and we'll reason and sort out and find a solution. True?
True.
Lieutenant police officer has been arrested on suspicion of murder following the disappearance of a woman in South London a week ago. Sarah Everard, who was 33, was making her way home from a friend's house. The Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Dame Cressida Dick, revealed tonight that what appear to be human remains have been found near Ashford in Kent, but those remains have not yet been identified. Dame Cressida said that the news that the man arrested was one of her officers had sent shockwaves and anger throughout the force. Let's have this report from our special correspondent, Lucy Manning.
Sarah Everard, described by her family as amazing, lovely, fantastic. For a week, they clung on to hope she would be found alive. Off this beaten track, surrounded by woodland, police searched all day as one of their own colleagues sat in police custody on suspicion of her murder and kidnap.
This evening, detectives and search teams investigating Sarah's disappearance have found, very sadly, what appears to be human remains. The discovery was made in an area of woodland in Ashford in Kent. The news today that it was a Metropolitan Police officer who was arrested on suspicion of Sarah's murder has sent shockwaves and anger through the public and through the Met.
Sarah Everard was last seen a week ago, walking from a friend's house in South London to her house, as many women do on many nights out, walking alone. She didn't make it home. The police officer under arrest is in his 40s. His house in Deal in Kent was also searched, police removing a car. He was a diplomatic protection officer, but instead of protecting embassies, he's facing questions about a possible murder. A woman was also arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender.
About 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard car doors banging because I just assumed it was like night workers. They, people going to bed, going to work. And then I just saw some activity with police down there.
Sarah, a marketing executive, had been at her friend's house on Leithwaite Road, close to Clapham, South London. She left there at around 9 in the evening to return to her home in Brixton, an hour's walk away. Police believe she made her way across Clapham Common. This footage from a doorbell camera showed Sarah on Poinders Road at around 9:30. It's the last time she was seen. Her family still want people to come forward to help the police with anything they saw that night. The policeman arrested was, Scotland Yard said, off duty at the time of her disappearance, and it's not known if he was or wasn't connected in any way to Sarah. She was just 33 years old, just enjoying London life, then walking home. How could that end here, where the week-long agony of her family is only intensified? But when a woman disappears after walking home alone, so many people, women especially, hold their breaths hoping that that person will be found. It seems tonight, after the searches in these isolated dark fields, that everything Sarah's family willed for, their hope that she would be found, it seems that that has not been possible. It was an ashen-faced commissioner of the Metropolitan Police now leading a murder inquiry where the main suspect is one of her own officers.
Lucy, many thanks again for the latest there in Ked. Lucy Manning, our special correspondent. Just to recap, in her statement this evening, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Dame Cressida Dick, said that Londoners should know it was incredibly rare, in her words, for a woman to be abducted from the capital streets. And she said her thoughts very much were with Sarah Everard's family. Let's go to Scotland Yard and our Home Affairs correspondent, Daniel Sanford. Daniel, what's the latest that you have for us there?
Well, first of all, I think there is an urgent sense here of a need to reassure the people of London that it is extremely rare for people to be abducted by strangers. Rarer still for there to be an abduction that turns into a possible murder. And of course, if a police officer is involved, that would essentially be unique. The other word that's being used around here this evening, as well as reassurance and shock, is betrayal, because although this investigation could take another path, after all, nobody has yet been charged. If it does turn out that a police officer has been involved, then there will be a very strong sense of betrayal from the very top of this organisation down to the rank and file, a sense that they will have been betrayed and that the people of London above all would have been betrayed, because they feel a deep sense of pride that their job is to protect the people of London. And now here's one of their own officers suspected of doing the exact opposite in the worst possible way.
You know, people, I have to say rest in peace, you know, because that in itself is a madness, bro.
True.
What a crazy thing to happen.
Real talk.
What a crazy thing to happen, bro. The girl was literally just walking home. She thought she was blessed walking home. And then we all know there's mad people about, there's crazy people about, there's people that aren't quite right in their head that do mad things. But you would not expect a police officer to do them things to you. Like we was talking about. Well, we was talking about it last week, weren't we? About the trust, how we can trust police or how we can't trust police. And then this here, yo, it's just coming like we can't trust them.
Hard evidence, bro. Hard evidence.
For me, bro, I just think it's mad. I don't know what everybody else thinks. I just think it's mad. When I found out about it, I thought it was crazy.
I'm upset, but I'm not surprised. Get me?
True.
Trust me.
I see the same thoughts too.
Like I said, remember the pledge. Remember the pledge what they took, my brother. A1 Ross, we talked about this last week. We talked about the pledge, the swearing in against the parents, siblings, anybody. Yeah. So it's to be expected, you know what I mean?
It's unbelievable knowing that these people have loved ones going home too.
I mean, if you tell you,
them have them family going home to embrace them, and them doing dirty deeds. Not only that, he's a part of them.
It's always down to people consideration, you know what I mean? And if your consideration is limited, it's not gonna be pretty. You have to have a consideration on a wider scale, including the general public, you know what I say? But that just goes for sure. That just goes for sure, say, authority, they just sit in a position where they just abuse the power because it was given to them. You know what I say?
And not only that, because she's a female too, and he probably want to have him way with her, because I know we don't really know what happened, you know.
That's true.
He probably rape her and do all this different kind of stuff that he probably wanted her, and then of course that's the end.
Listen, a wise man once tell me, yeah, the ones who break the rule and the ones who make the rule are the first to break the rule. And if it does make wisdom guide you, you will always know. You have to include everything. There's always what's the word? There was a potential for wrongdoing. There's always a potential because you know what? They bleed blood. They got the power. They can abuse it. And that's what they do from time to time. We see this over from slavery days till now. We see this still happen. Nothing ain't new to us. We just get immune to it. You know what I mean? As much as we're not supposed to get immune to it, but it grew some at the end of the day.
Mad boss. What happened is the only thing where really make a change is because cell phone and cameras now are reveal some of it.
True.
Hey, this police officer, you know, rape this girl, you know, lock up this girl, you know, and rape her on camera in the station. Knowing so the camera in the station are run and a record him, you know, the man rape her on the camera, you know, brother. Take her virginity, you know.
Not change. Babylon.
This is just
Babylon. I mean, and Babylon will always be Babylon.
I know, bro. We're told to trust them. We're told that they're there to serve and protect, but I really don't think that they're serving and protecting. Like, there's good officers. Not everybody's bad. There's good sheep and bad sheep. But it just seems to be at the moment, bro. The bad is getting the best of them. Like,
no, it's just because it's just been exposed to our eyes, brother. Like I said to you, not because me and you ain't had a bad experience. Me, hundreds of people out there ain't having a bad experience daily by the system. They are.
True.
It's just that we have to include it, brother. And not because, like I said, not because we ain't a victim, me and others ain't a victim out there. There's hundreds of victims daily by the authority. Daily.
Yep. Like even say back home in Jamaica, we know the police kill so much youths every time. Bro, it's always a police shooting and then them find a gun and when they take it out, the youth never even know nothing about the gun. You know, it's always the police, brethren.
Yo, they
turning against people. What's fire?
To me,
they never tell you about the statistic of police killing a yard. Trust me.
Oh my.
Because every year, say gunman kill 1,500 somebody. Police kill almost the same amount.
Yes, same way.
But it's a sad situation for no one to this
police
day.
Always kill more.
It really is a heartbreaking and scary thing.
Police always kill more, my youth.
Can I tell you now what they came out with a resolution? The resolution, is that they're trying to get this across, that in the UK, all males after 6 p.m. have to be locked up. So we're already locked down through COVID, so they're controlling us that way. Now, because a police officer raped a member of the public, now all males and members of the public have to stay in the house at 6 p.m. so that no girls get raped. But it wasn't me, it wasn't you, it wasn't John Jesus.
What kind of thing that we're at?
This is what one of the MPs came out and said, bro. It's mad. And then also as well, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there was a march in London, a freedom of movement march.
Mm-hmm.
And Piers Morgan was there. There was a few other celebrities there walking around with no mask on. So I don't know, are the people actually now finally standing up like we said last week and unifying? Are we actually going to unify and say, no, you're not going to keep us locked in our house forever? And no, you're not going to jab us with this thing. What it is.
So, Mr. Patel, who is the Home Secretary? He's the one that upruling this kind of law. This kind of
she's called Priti Patel. She's a female. I think she's an MP of some sort. I don't really follow politics, to be fair, bro. I'm a Rasta, innit? So.
Mm-hmm.
But what about
right.
And what's everyone think about this?
Home Secretary. So to be honest, I was looking at the news where dozens of politicians from the Conservative, the Labour, and the Liberal Democrats have written to her because they think it's unfair because people should be able to assemble, and basically they are saying that people can't even protest.
That's why
that is tyranny to the highest level, brethren.
It's the same thing I talked about last week. May I say, them print the big old book of human rights and them give you, and when you exercise the rights, they revoke it with one of them rights. So may I say, we don't have no rights at all as human. Because them print all these rights, guess you can exercise it. And by the time you start exercising it naturally, without any form of violence and natural protest, brother, they still find something to revoke whatever human rights you have. So, on this land in Europe, we ain't got no human rights. human ain't got no rights because it was written by them. The parchment was written by them, and them write it, and they can revoke it at any time. Enough time, stop and search. Police used to stop and search, and it says in the book of human rights, if you're not doing anything wrong and you don't feel like give your name, you don't have to. And then under one next section, United to tell us, oh, based upon this and section happened since 1991, you have to give your name. So it's all bullshit. Is that what I said?
Brethren, the way the police have their ways, it's not supposed to be. For real, the way the police have their ways, it's not supposed to be. Because I can remember, like I said, I'm driving in the opposite direction. I'm driving in one direction, heading south, and the police heading north. And by the time I make two, three turns, I could recall it's the same policeman that was heading north, turn around and run I down. So them just target whosoever them feel like target. And their Amnesty International have no say. I mean, is podcasts like this really gonna make people open them eye rasta and know say Amnesty International need to do something, or we need to bring in a law, or we need to draw a line somewhere, somehow. That
can't draw the line without
is above the law.
But the problem.
Yeah, go on, niceness.
The thing with that family is that, all right. The thing with that, is that we always depend upon, say, the politician to set the thing straight and set the right thing because of them, I wrote the law thing and whatever. But that ain't gonna happen because guess what? They use the police as a buffer against we to them, you know. You see, because every time them do anything and we get serious, and the police them draw for to defend them, you know. So, in a sense, they use the police know. In a sense, so them have the law and defend them for do whatever because they are the buffer between the people and the politician. You see it? So
when you talk about
come up with a different strategy.
So can I ask you now then? Obviously, I'm in England, yeah. Mad Boss, you're in England, yeah. John Niceness, you're from Jamaica, but you're in the US at the moment. A1 Rash, you're in the US. Do you think it's just become a victimization thing that they'll just stop anybody? Because when we talk about politics, yeah, and you talk about the politicians, I know it's the same here and in Jamaica. They come round in their cars, waving their flags, saying, vote for me, I'll change everything. I'll make sure that these laws are changed. I'll make sure that you get more money. I'll make sure everyone lives nicely. Everyone lives happily ever after. And then guess what? Skirt, I'm gone. Politician gone. You never see him again. You can't
and
never get
the police is the politician. The police is still the boss at the end of the day. You see what I say, DJ Daddy?
The police have to get, the police commissioner have to get authority from the governing body before they can exercise any behavior like that. But when
they're supposed to.
What goes to them doesn't go for us because them buy how many millions of pounds worth of body cam, yeah? And the body cam where them are wear have to provide evidence for both sides, right? Listen, if you in the UK now, this time you can Google the law. If you assault a police officer, the body cam only run for 31 days. If you assault a police officer, it runs for however how long. If they assault you and your lawyer try to request it, it's disappear after you can't get it. You cannot get it. After 31 days, you cannot get it. But if you assault them, believe me, it'll turn up in a court, them still have it. So it just goes to show say unfair game is always been there because of authority.
We need somebody to police the police here. Because the ministers, them, the governing ministers who we vote in not doing it.
The people have nothing to none at all.
That's what I said. That's what I said. So who is going to do that? It's the people. Just like all the politicians supposed to work for the people.
And it's another thing like this.
To make it look like it's the people working for the politicians.
We don't vote, if we don't vote, the people who in charge is just going to stay in charge. Nothing is going to change.
But voting,
they're going to do a hearing for them friends.
Voting not change
But
nothing,
who you
you know.
gonna vote for? 'Cause if it's not this
Podcast
party, it's the
I'm
next
live on
party.
Dbja UK or on my
Both of
Instagram.
them are the same thing.
Yeah, quick. All right then, bro.
You see me?
Bless.
Yeah, voting
Call me back.
not really
Two
change nothing
parties,
because
When you get calls off the phone, people are saying, yo, the podcast is lit. They love it. Let me just take some time to stop because you see me keep bobbing up and down. I'm just checking the tablet because we've got the people on Instagram as well. So big up to Cedar, Abrima, all the way in the Gambia.
big up all Africa.
Big up
Harmony
Africa.
Music. Yo,
Yeah, man.
the world's
big up. Thanks for logging in and tuning into the reasoning, you know? Yeah, man.
So as we was talking, we was talking about the freedom of movement then. So do you think that, like, obviously, like, us four here, yeah? We've come together, we built a product, this podcast, we've unified across the globe to bring this to the people. Do you think that we can actually get people watching this, joining in, and actually taking information from what we're saying? They might not believe all of it or agree with all of it, they might disagree. But at least take some of the information in.
Always, you know, DJ Daddy, always.
Most
Because,
definitely.
you know, we always influence.
Because, yeah, we was talking about the thing in London. Now, I can tell you from two different angles, because I've seen the TV's version, where there's like 300 officers and like 1,000 people, and it's like a riot, yeah? And then one of my friends who's a rapper from London, I saw him personally walking. There was people in front of him, people beside him, and I saw for 20 minutes a protest. What's it called? You know, when it's just like a static, not causing no trouble, just a silent protest. They were just walking.
Yeah, a peaceful protest.
A peaceful protest. So now they're trying to say that you can't do that. Like, it all started from this police officer killing the girl. Then everybody around the UK has unified to come and like drop flowers and say prayers and give thanks for the person's life. The MPs have said, no, you can't do that because of COVID. But yet no one's died through COVID yet in that situation that I know of. I haven't checked all the facts, but as far as I know, when all them people gathered together, there wasn't many COVID deaths. No one dropped down dead like zombies off COVID. So are we uniting or are we fighting something that we're not going to win?
We ain't gonna win it, brother. Let me interject. We ain't gonna win because no matter how peaceful the protest is, yeah, that's why I say the feds have the horses, bro. The horses are there to tame the public. If the kush and the pepper spray can do it, it's the horses and the dogs what they use next. You see what I say? So basically, you could exercise all your human rights, brother. It still get eradicated because somebody are going to protest in a violent way. You might be peaceful, and the person next to you are do it violently. You still get shade. You still fall under that umbrella because you stand up next to him. So you know what I say? It'll waive all of your rights regardless because you're there on the scene, and the scene, some people on the scene, it'll go on violent. So you just come under the umbrella. So you what? Them use the horses and the dog. So at the end of the day, then give the public a little bit of rights where we can do public arrest just for manipulation, but at the same time, you try to do a public arrest, try arrest one of them officers and see how quick them revoke that rights. But if somebody steals something and run, a serious thing. Them shouldn't give with the authority then to say public arrest. You see what I said? But the only way we can exercise that is in the rights of the metropolitan.
You can't arrest an officer.
I would like to see a single person or a group arrest an officer. I would like to see that. No, never you know. Them kill our brothers and sisters in front of our mothers and fathers every day, you know. With them gun, you know. Stand up in front of mothers and kill their husband, you know. We know that, you know, so them do that, you know. So we would like to know how we can enforce a law where the citizen can arrest the officer. Brethren, things is always changing like the technology we have using today changing. And we have to really enforce certain things. We the people always have the voice, always have the say.
the legislation will never change. And whatever the
We have
funny
to change the legislation.
yeah, whatever the funny legislation, our granny would have said, the parchment paper, whatever written upon that from the king or the queen, it will never change. The only thing change are the budget every April, where them get to spend. Nothing else not change. Anything might change are the uppering harshness regarding sentencing, police authority, more authority them get. Them never, it never upon a diminished side where they restrict or they minus certain authority from them. They more give them more power. So the more power them are backative. Because like me I say, even the judge have to follow the governing bodies guideline before he can sentence you. And a film courtroom, he's the judge, but he still have to follow the guidelines which was set by the government.
You have to follow the guidelines in picking the juries, conducting the whole courts, the juries.
And
everybody have to follow their own guidelines.
The governing body, right?
Everybody have to follow their own guidelines, because I've been a jury before. And brother, there have been cases where one or two person may have seen something look different. And they're like, no man, this person is innocent, man. And say it's a 10-member jury. Seven of those people are really listening. I'm not so convinced. I want to say he's innocent, but I'm not so convinced. Well, sure, the person say, yo, this man innocent, man. Remember, the whole of them none of them not really say, yeah, man, him guilty, man. We think at the end of the day, the 7 will say, boy, I'm not so convinced, I got end up say guilty, And the other 3 will say, innocent, end up, no, have no say, And that innocent man end up gone down guilty, It have been happening all the time.
Why not today?
Can I interject?
Yeah, man.
Right. There's a man, that brought all 4 of us together. And it is without no doubt, His Imperial Majesty, Jah Rastafari, is the reason why us 4 do this podcast. True? It's why it's why we represent ourselves the way we represent ourselves. Now, me myself, I did a little bit of research. Now, when Emperor Haile Selassie was around, he started to unify places. He left from Africa to go to Jamaica to try and fix Jamaica. He sorted that out. He came to England to try and unify over here. He brought the I can't remember the name, but where all the different countries all come together. He was kind of the reason why that happened. And then when he passed away, it was like a mission was kind of on its way, and then it got stopped. Then Bob Marley came around and carried on that mission. Then when he passed away, there was like, what was left to carry up? Does that make sense? I know he's still got his children, but it's like the faith and the unity that we all had is kind of going, because everyone wants to go their own way. They don't want to join together and do something and make a movement together.
There's never been unity, bro. It's never been unified. The only reason why unified unless it's profitable for the Europeans. And that's why the Italian that's why the Italian, remember they had the EU from time ago, Remember before the battle of Mussolini when the Italian rejected Ethiopia from the EU, before they went to war, before them try to invade Ethiopia at the last. It's because of the Italian were having things their own way. So the EU did that about long time. You know what I mean? Ethiopia was part of the EU from way back in the days. You understand? You can YouTube do all of them things, just natural history. But anytime European people not having things their way, they're gonna be oppression.
So I see things on a level where you see the unity that are the thing can deliver I and I. You see? And we need that, and that's why they always try to break the unity, because that's what deliver I and I, no legislation or whatever. Because you see, if we come together and decide, say, yo, we not buy that, it have to stop, make. I will not travel upon that, I will not take that, I will not go go at the job or where we not go. However, if we just stick out on certain things, that's all. You see me? And without that unity there, because if everyone are going a different direction, you know, that the enemy want, you know.
And that going in Africa.
In unity we find strength, you know.
That's what's going on into Africa today. Because these little small African countries do not have enough sovereignty to stand up against the big countries then. You see what I mean? I say? Them a little small country in Africa can't stand up against China. Them can't stand up against a country like the US. You hear me I tell you? So you see, right now, the best way is I see all African countries to come together and form one sovereignty, form one Africa, and make France stop printing money. France right now, France don't even want no leader in Africa open their mouth.
You see, the thing is, you know,
them no want Casablanca come together.
That's why we have to unite as a people. See,
but the thing
we
is,
have to unite as a people.
But the thing is that
as a people we have to unite, all right. Look, and in Africa it's supposed to easy. Right away we look around and we see the neighboring countries look like each other. You know, see what the Europeans them do. Them look and them see the Europeans them look like them. And them farm them 7 heads of countries, whatever them want. Them farm the Geneva Conference. You see what I say? So look at the African countries, them run Africa now. Farm one sovereignty. Look how countries around there, look how Africa big. If them ever come together, these little small European countries can't manage them, can't manage your brains, can't manage your sovereignty, brethren. And them would be higher, and there would be no more suffering, and so much people could be can't afford this, can't afford that. But look at France, printing them in so much different African countries, and them have no say. Even look at a country like Jamaica.
Let me show you something, Dada, yeah? You see unity.
Yeah, but again, 1 minute, them in general. 1 minute, them in general. That's why Bob Marley is saying, none but ourselves can throw our mind in a bridging. It's the mind that the people need to be free up. You understand? We have to know, say, yo, I saw only deal with it, we're not going to move it. See? Since as you are telling me, say, me and my little thing, them, we're not going to hear a little thing them neither, or your big thing them, or where you designate. You understand me? And them thing that we have to turn off ourselves and the things that they think that we like, that they create for us to like. See? And do some different things. And change the whole mindset of the thing, because guess what? They not going to change it for us. And if we look to that, it not going to work. You understand?
Yeah, master,
sister there, just all of them things that happen. And I mean more like she. And it's been going on for a long time. And I just know.
Yeah.
And I just know, you know. From your youth, about police, we have to do wicked things in my youth.
Let me just say something quick, yeah. You see before, enough people are going to agree with what I said, because oppression, I mean the right for oppression, you understand? And if, like you say, unity, we are waiting for it too long, because if these people ever set sail come to Africa, come see we are cause oppression upon one another, mean enslave one another, they will never try it in the first place. So I say, that's one. Part two, when I say, even if we unite, like look, Africa got granite. Granite is one of the most experienced material in the world. It's used worldwide. They want to buy the material, but if we were to manufacture things and put it on the market, they wouldn't pass it, so we wouldn't get no foreign currency. So we still there at the bottom, same way, all when we unite.
Brother, if dirt,
because
if dirt,
hold on, A1 Ras. This is the thing, you know. We always trying to design things to please them and what they do. And what about the commerce between us? Because we are enough people to have enough commerce between we, you know, my lad. It's true, we want to go be with them and be a part of their trade and be a part of their thing, you know. And always want to fit in and always want to, why we don't get there? Huh? You see, I say, we need to create our thing. Okay, you see when me and youth I grew up, it's certain role me used to see black people playing a movie and certain things, you know. But you see when time you start have some black movie producer, black man start be the star of the movie, you know. When I say a black man, I wait unless I be a black people in a movie. You see it? So at the same way, we have to take over our thing. Just like we take over music, and also if we create the black industry in the music, then are the people's industry in the music, then this is how the indie artists come in now. And because some man get fed up at the big company and decide say, yo, I'm gonna sell me CD out of the back of my car, you know. And him did make a food. You see, if I can jump, but we just have to come together and support each other.
If I can say something, they can make you and they can break you, remember. Like as you were saying then about people in movies. You'll see them, yeah, they'll do the first film will be an action film, there'll be a gangster or it'll be a sick film, you know, they'll get not mobile awards. I'm not really up with films, I don't watch too many. But they'll get awards and, you know, all them sort of things. Then you'll start seeing, down the line of their career, they'll wear dresses. And this is proof. Remember them two brothers? Is it the Wayans brothers? You remember that White Chicks, the film called White Chicks, where they dressed as white girls? And what they'll do is they'll start degrading that character and break him. Like I said, they can make you. They'll put you right at the top, right up here. John Niceness, you are the star. But then, as I said last week, we need to chop off them dreads, shave that beard, and dress you in a rainbow skirt, and you'll be all right. We can put you right on the platform right now.
Because you're a puppet. They want you up there to please them. Then again, it's only profitable to them, like what we are saying.
Right.
A lot of ones put themselves in the market there.
Because you want to get into their thing.
This is what I want to say to the virgin there, right?
But if you don't want to get into their thing,
you see the way the world finances. You see the way the world run, brother. It's never a balanced place, cause the way I see it, right? If dirt was as scarce as gold, then to be honest, right now gold don't mean nothing. Dirt would have been the most. Think about how everybody hold on to them gold and man, you see what I say? If gold was abundant as dirt, brother, dirt would not be a scarce commodity. So what can these people realize that this earth is a balance? It's a balance, Rasta, and anytime the thing unbalanced is an unfair thing go on. Because some people want to dip on top and take away what belongs to some people and feel like we are going to satisfy with that. That's why the people them come out and protest.
Yeah.
And people them can't sit in and say, yo, this is unbalanced, man. Eh? This thing unbalanced, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Balance.
That's why we have to go back in our mindset.
People are unfair. These people are too unfair, Rasta.
Yeah.
Brother, you know what's right now?
We depend on them too much.
You know what's right now? Right now, as you sit down here and speak, Chinese people, in Africa still are mine gold illegally, but that is another topic.
All right.
Where I say UK?
All right.
Yeah, but it's done in a sense, though, isn't it? It's like, I'll give you £1,000 now, or £100,000 now, yeah, which is a lot of money, but I'm going to use your land for the next 3 months, and every month I'm making at least $1 million. So out of them months or was it yours, I made 3 mil, and I only had to give you 100 grand. You're happy, but I have made a substantial amount of whatever product was in your yard. Whether it be gold, soil, mining, copper. But it's like they're stuck in it because now it's like they signed it. Exactly, bro. They're stuck because it's like, well, I've already gave you what I was meant to give you. So what do you expect now? Does that make sense? That's the mindset basically.
And that I go to Jamaica. You know,
Which
in
is mad, bro.
In 2021, the Prime Minister Andrew Wall is still a bulldozer down people will live on capture land. Just release it to people.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's a going worldwide, even back home.
In 2021, when we think say the Prime Minister would have in the middle of COVID, you know. When we say the people them would that's we call tyranny to the highest level, brethren. Where this tyrannical pack come from with these people who are supposed to be human.
And he must send the people, he must give the people in peace and land, yeah? And not even want
but this is what I say about the mindset of the people, them, you know. This is what I say about the mindset of the people, them, you know. This is a thing where road to the black boat and all them things, them people rebel about, you know.
But brother, if you do that, the JDF will come down and then we use the tractor and remove it. We go through it. We see this all the while, you know what I mean? So, me say if we go through it and come for my family,
so
we have to do it. Mad boss, we have to do that. We have to do that. It's not the only thing for them. And burn to them
over with.
Brother, it can't be done easy. It's by the bullet or by the fire or by the force.
People always exercise them farmer protester, but brother, how far does it reach? It doesn't reach far because them just call down the bulldozer and it clear the road. And then call down the Jamaica Defense Force and then come and put fear in the people with the whole heap of gun. What the people them can do? Them just promise the people them peace and land, not even water nor light upon the land. And you want to tell me, say, you lick down the people them. Some of the people live there for 35 years. One woman, she probably 56. She lived there for how long, have her picnic and have grand picnic. And 2 weeks them give them, brother. 2 weeks. But when I say, I grow through them something where people protest, brother. I grow through it. You know what I say? I grow through capture land. I know, I understand. You see what I say? But just release it out to somebody for grow something. You get what I say? Them disregard the residents of the country.
Just because they want the land, they want to plan for the land now.
Yeah, what them do now? Them get Adams.
One of the things.
Adams have a private security force, you know. So the people who lease the land, yeah, them get Adams and him security team figure watch the land. So what them all do? Them all shoot the people. Them.
Oh my God. Oh my God,
but
man.
You see, yard people too. One of the things with yard people, you know.
Yeah.
Most yard people don't really believe in the pen, you know. Yard people don't really believe in the pen. You know, them first start is that they can't get justice about certain things. But just true, they not go about it right though. You see, kind of everything you have to use force, you know. Sometimes you use strategy. You see what I say? And go to higher levels and levels and levels.
But brother,
so sometimes you have to stop use force and use the pen. You see it?
But brother,
and use strategy.
We understand that. But remember, you have a child, right? And that child come home and said somebody's bullying him. And if you don't take drastic measures as his protector, and also his lover. Similar example, the MP is not protecting the people, so that even if they write to the MP is still nonsense. They might write to somebody higher, it's still nonsense because what? That party who is in power gonna ignore you. They continue to ignore you, brother. Whatever rights, protest or practice or exercise, we always get ignored or them use force. The people that look at, you see, it's the Sprague Benz post a thing with the Andrew Wellness wife, you know. She grew up selling, you know, and go after school and she said, like, mother and father Higla, you know. And see them lick down the people them style my it and take with them goods same way. Remember saying them grow through them something, you know.
Look on that. Our mother and our father Higla.
She used to do it after school. But people,
but again, you know, family, again, it boils down to the people because when election come, what kind of decision you make? Who are them people that you vote for? Who you never see? Every 4 years you see them. Zine, them not come eat with you, them not come drink with you, them not share no humanitarian nothing with you.
That's what.
Yeah.
And the cycle keeps going on and on.
This and tell you that. And it keeps going and going and going. So we have to blame the people.
So
because
that's why.
guess what? We grew up in our parents' house, you know. And while we are grow up, we never like certain things and can't wait for reach our 18 and then think they forgot and we won. And as soon as we reach our 20, we're going to we won. You see, because we can't take that. So at the same transition we can make out of the system here, within a mental frame of mind. You understand? You transit. You understand? To the frame of mind there. You understand? For uphold certain things because there's no other way out, Virgin. None but ourselves can free our mind. And until the people start make certain drastic move and decision, it don't have to be violent.
That's why you can't blame. That's why you can't blame people like my father's son. Cause me see 50-50 because sometimes you can't blame people for the decision they make because you have people out there where they might take the straight and narrow. Like me I said, me don't know about you know, but me grew up in the 90s, right through the 90s, you know. I watch my mother work for Chinese people, you know, brother. I don't just know Chinese people, they're Jamaican. You understand what I say? So, and they still have face oppression while you are being honest. So, when you find people like my father's son now and certain situations, you never know why people make certain decisions. But then who am I to criticize or spread propaganda based upon a man's situation or a man's decision? Because there's people out there that go worse than that.
True.
Yeah, but family, check this.
Yeah.
You know why all these things are happening? Because we never, as a people, hold the government responsible for the stupid and all of the wrong thing with them do. You understand me? Because when me a little youth, you know, remember my auntie, you know, send a $5 come for Christmas in a pocket piece me use that fine, you know, because my money bigger than that in a king. And a long time I tell you about, you know.
Yeah, man.
You see me I tell you? But because of all the government, because our people never that fair go work for this and work for that and live so poor. We backside. We below some of them bridge away see all over in the place. And our backside below enough of them things what we see in them country, you know.
But on a black people
and them things in them country, you know.
But brother, on a black people.
No, but the government mismanaged.
And the black people.
No, but the government mismanaged the resource.
The Colgate factory.
The government mismanaged it.
Remember, you have a big one where the government aluminum, you know. You have a big one where mine aluminum and centino, yeah? A white people own it. You have a next one a Mandeville when you go up Spur Tree Hill. A government own it. You have Colgate factory. A white, I don't know, Jamaican. No, Jamaican don't own nothing.
But hold on now. And not even that. Remember, so the little Jamaican black them.
What?
The little Jamaican black them who find them ways in these big institutions. It's just through a little education pushing up. Remember, white people own Jamaica, you know, if you don't remember that, you know. All the true Ionized stages growing up, white people own everything in Jamaica. And the Chinese.
But them never just come and own it, so. The government sell out.
Long time.
Because them sell out. Look. They could have made better deals when them didn't make the deal. Yeah, we never have the thing for mind the thing, but our thing. So if you're gonna make a good deal, for no say boy, my people and my country, like first time down in the Middle East when you have Al Gaddafi and them man there. Them on the aisle, everybody benefiting the country from the resource of the country. You see me I say? It never does some little man just sell out and some little man sell out. All of some little beach we used to go to Jamaica. Politicians sell them out, you know.
Fire niceness. You know the things just have changed now, fire niceness, cause before, remember, you know, the politics is only run by a certain family, you know. Remember, it was the white family them who control, it was the Mandley them and the Buster them was two cousins, you know. And it's because they were loyal to the Queen of England while they get to rule and they get to govern. And remember, Jamaica is still governed by a governor general.
Right.
You understand? So it's still not even controlled by these people.
Them still.
You see me? So it's only our little few
Today.
in intellect now who go to the university and has find them way into a position like Andrew Holness today, and don't realize that he's supposed to change the laws once he have the privilege to. Because history will tell whatever they have done, you know. History is going to tell. Because these guys get Portia Simpson Miller have made mentoring. A lot of PGA participants, all of them is going to tell because they get power from being intellect. It wasn't anything come down through them bloodline. Because the way it was designed, they wasn't supposed to be even part of it.
Don't even mention PG. Don't even mention him. Me grow through him in Jamaica.
A one person will become politician, will become prime minister in Jamaica, wherever have anything to do with the people, and you see him, if they did just follow him, Jamaica would be such a good place, and the world would have been such a good place. And a Michael Manley, if you go back and listen to that man, the speech and the things that my youth, trust me.
Fundamentally,
him still a tech talk for the upper
that's
head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if the people them did listen to him, at least they would have built themselves on a level where they wouldn't be so dependent on foreign resource for even for food. Can him teach them for grow where you eat.
But watch out, you just still left off for them playground.
Thing that's growing what you eat.
Yeah, but you just still left off for them
but at the same bloodline and the same wavelength, and yeah, me I tell you, them only want to have us into one box so them can govern us for your niceness, man.
Yeah, I feel them
remember me tell you, it was always about him and team family.
Remember, I know.
Yeah,
but remember things keep changing, you know. So every time the guard change, you see the next man them will come in, them less weaker than the man them before, you know. See? But as going back to when I tell you about Michael Manley, trust me, that was a real. And if you think a lie, go watch back some of my speech them on YouTube and thing. And you that's what me, you know, what I say.
I look for a man like Desmond out of town. Black to the bone. Look a bald Chinese man. And I think he has oppressed Western Kingston more than how him uplift them. Cause you tell me, say, as a black man in the you think a little people, I see them and they take all them stuff. The Metropolitan Police them go to town and take all the people them stuff. You tell I say, if they did a drive up the lane and I tell the people them say, come over, we are gonna fix a market for the item. And come off the street. If they did even say roll up the street one time and give the people them a warning. Instead of roll up the street and take away poor people's stuff.
Exactly.
Can I jump in 1 second?
But check this. You talk Desmond Mackenzie, right?
Right.
I think a Desmond Mackenzie attack. But guess what with him? The people them will lay down in the street and make Desmond Mackenzie walk when them go anywhere. Him want go, you know, the way them love him as a politician, you know. So him have the right for do anything he want to do to them. Because them are idiot. This is what I tell you about the people need to change their mindset.
Can I jump in?
So much love and look what him do. And you still love him.
Yeah, him bring a lot of revenue to Kingston, you know. Him is a man who come in and make the people them know so them have to pay for them sign. You can't put up a sign in front of your shop without you pay for that blouse and skirt. A whole heap of revenue him dig out of the people them pocket.
Yeah, so if you have a man like that, you don't need a man like that in your thing. Yeah,
and them still keep voting him in. But me and you know so politics, as long as him live and him around Western Kingston, it's gonna be an unfair politics. Western Kingston politics is unfair. And a Labour right will always win in that constituency.
Can I you something.
It's
See,
unfair
Yeah,
politics
go
no,
on.
but
that
you
runs
see,
in Western Kingston.
that's the problem.
Unfair politics running at them place there. We know that.
Where else a
And
DJ?
I grew up as see my family as politician. I see my cousin them over jungle who control the whole of stuff. You see my cousin them a Portmore where I do them thing and them. We know that these politics not fair. I go to these politics meeting, overheard these politicians get up and say, there is nothing wrong with the little battery. You see the next day, brother, and the politics, I'm friend them, Mrs. Station ride come all at the polling station and mark up pay X. And I'm box up the same PMP lady where did they had the meeting with them. Because she don't agree with it. She believe in a fair politics. You know what I'm saying?
On the same subject, yeah, can I take you all back to London, 1960? Yeah? We talked a lot about white people, black people, European. You can see my flag is there, proud. I am Irish, yeah? And let me tell you something, and it hurts my heart when I say it. Back in 1960, they had signs up that said no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. So all of us were dogs.
Wow.
That's what they classed us as. And it's only through the unity through all the years and all the campaigns and all the marches and people being killed and people finding out about it and us unifying how we are now is how we've got past that stage.
Wow.
But that kills me. It hurts my heart, bro. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Imagine that.
Because they shook
And right now,
they shook the IRA, bro. It's because the IRA were bombing Britain. That's why, innit? That's why they
I saw something last week.
Huh?
I saw something last week. I saw a video, I saw a video where, well, there's two things. The travellers, the Irish travellers, basically, if you go to Butlins, the holiday camp for children, there's certain names that they've got on the list that they don't allow. My name, McDonough, they don't allow. So if I call up and say, McDonough, they won't allow me to go there with my child. Because they've got a list of names that they don't have. So you'd have to call up and call yourself like Mike Jones or something like that. Which that's mad, isn't it? And then I saw another thing as well last night. This is even crazier. Because of COVID, they wouldn't allow an autistic child with a big celebrity into Disney World because he was scared to wear the mask because it felt like he was suffering. I've just got to say what a fucked up world we live in, bro. It's mad.
Wow. I'm not surprised either.
An autistic child that was scared to wear a mask, who wanted to go to Disney World, maybe the first time ever, the security, the main manager, all the people, they stood there quite happily, really, just disallowing this child to go in. But the thing is, we're in 2021 now. 2020, we were in lockdown. Did you really think that we were going to be in lockdown in 2021? Or did you feel like last year it was going to come to an end and we'd be all right? Because they're telling us in England now that we're coming to an end. There's a road to the end. But this is where it gets interesting. We've only got until Friday to have the jab, the COVID jab, before it runs out and it goes to other countries. I know it's in France right now, and the main person, the president of France, has said nobody's to have it under the age of 55. The CEO of the Pfizer vaccine has said that he hasn't had his jab yet because he doesn't want to look to appear like he's jumping the queue, but yet everybody who works for him has had this jab. Now, when I've done research about it, it's meant to be... it's meant to mess about with your genes. It implants something into your body that then brings out the symptoms of COVID. So it makes your body feel like you've got COVID, even though you haven't. So you'll have the hot sweats, you'll have a fever, you'll feel ill because you've got something that your red and white blood cells don't understand. The DNA of our body don't understand this thing that they want to test on us. It's like human testing.
Most definite.
About it, is it the CDC and the World Health Organization? They say you have to test something for 2 years before they can put their seal and stamp on it. Well, they haven't tested it for 2 years. That's why the World Health Organization haven't put their stamp on it, and that's why the CDC haven't as well. But we don't know what the hell's in it, and the World Health Organization saying, well, could be a bit risky. What the hell?
But check this now. This brethren over in Israel made this video where Israel is clamping down on all the people that don't take this vaccine. They're not issuing no visa. You cannot leave Israel. You cannot be a part of no worship. You can't. So basically, you're known as a second-class citizen in Israel if you don't take the vaccine. And this guy basically crying out, well, you know, people in Israel, they don't worship Jesus, right? They believe in Yahshua. Because they believe in this letter J. They don't worship this letter J. They always say Yahshua, Yahshua. May Yahshua help us. And really, they are crying out. Basically, these people in Israel is saying, rest of the world, we're begging you guys to look at us, because it's coming to your door soon. Virgin, for real, this vaccine isn't even 1 year, it's not even 1 year. I'm wondering if it's a strategy of giving people the mark of the beast. Remember, they always talk about the mark of the beast can be delivered in a vaccine, you know, in a simple shot, you know.
Anything possible.
But to be honest, if you look at coronavirus, it really signifies 666, you know. Go to A1 Ross Instagram page and look where we have the coronavirus. It signifies 666. It's the mark of the beast. So with this vaccine, it's sealing it up. It's sealing up everything. Show this is really the mark of the beast, Rasta. Because if you're gonna force your citizens that, I as a frontline worker, and I don't trust the vaccine because I personally don't think they do enough research into making this vaccine. I don't think they do enough study to making this vaccine where I think it is enough for I and I. I would not take it. I think I need to see it work for a couple of people before. Like, I really want to hear who have been taking this vaccine and have been really getting sick, or how long this vaccine. I need to see something. You can't just force this onto I. So I feel the virgin in Israel who burn a fire, stating that, you know, they're forcing this thing on them, and basically it's coming to our doorway soon, whether we like it or not.
So then, do you, in a sense, yeah, they locked us down because we were all locked down. We were all in our house. We were all looking for friends and looking to make musical links and looking to do things in life because we were all bored, reaching out to different countries, reaching out to different people. We all started to unify. They didn't like that, so now it's time for the jab, which at the moment it isn't mandatory. Well, I reckon give it in a couple of months, it's going to be a mandatory thing in England, in the US. I don't know about Jamaica, and well, you've already said it's happening in Israel, so that's the Middle East is going to follow suit with all the other countries. I imagine like Syria, like, you know, all of them places, Iran, Iraq, all of that will follow the same suit as Israel. Mandatory in Europe, they'll become mandatory in England. They haven't tested it long enough. They have to test it on animals. They tested it on, I think they tested it on a rat. And when they gave it the thing, they killed it within 12 hours. So that couldn't stand it. So they tried again and killed another one and realized that weren't working. So what they did was carried on and just said, you know what, fuck it, it's ready. We're good to go. But one more thing I want to touch on, because I think that's a mad subject, but this here even is Movado. his son has been sent down for 22 years alongside, I think it's 2 other people. One got 17 and one got 15. And these are youths, you know. These are kids.
These are babies.
Celebrity star like my father. Why they went down the gangster route? Because my father was already signed and sealed in the music. He could have took his child and gone musical ways, but you know, kids are kids. They do what they do. So, what's everyone's opinion on that?
But I can make a comment, DJ Daddy,
Well,
and
it's
my
an
comment.
unfortunate situation, you know. And
Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead, Fire
What?
Minister.
go ahead, A1.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, as Mida says, it's an unfortunate situation, and you know, my condolences go to you know the person who get killed too, and you know, but I feel it for the artist too, and from an artist perspective, and as a youth, have you know, from an artist to an next artist, I also have a son too. I feel it so deep that I don't even know if to express it. You know, I don't know how it reach that point there, because I can bet if you research and see where all of this are come from, it could be maybe something we could have easily avoided. You know, it could be something where we could have easily talk over, and it reached to a point, and now look where it can get life imprisonment. And you know, when you take a stock, when you check it out, are you the man Demasteen, yeah? And the man gonna do life. Do you know him not saying nothing? You know, him not saying nothing. It's just so sad. The only thing is that him young, and if him live for a certain age, him you know make it forward. But you know, it's a sad situation, and we just hope say that youth learn from this. But this only highlighted because him father is a star, now. But many youths, Zane, and many youths go down like that every day. You see me, many youths, enough of them dead, you know. But it's a sad situation for family, and
Yeah, Fire Nice.
the art
I mean,
artist. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna criticize no one still, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah, Fire
just wish
Nice is
them
like the ice,
in
you know?
love.
Like when the ice of fire, we have to shout out to the people them who lost them loved ones. Cause ones that talk about the ones them who there now, where is a nice thing, yeah, and in father a star and whatever. But a crime was committed, Rasta. Which ones are ones that you look into it, and no matter who you want to be, brethren. Whether you want to be star or moon or sun, a crime was committed, Rasta. Because I and I daughter birthday today. 26-year-old today, I daughter.
Isis.
I and I have son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I and I have a couple of young son, younger than I daughter, we're older than that youth. And these son to I and I, they are I babies. I and I babies them.
See?
So if I and I have a son where him just drive out the tree I and I son a while ago.
Real.
And 22-year-old and him is a baby to I and I, car. Sometimes it's how you grow your youth. I don't know if that have anything to do with it. Well, that's supposed to have everything to do with it. It's how you grow the youth them, the environment you expose the youth them to, the kind of life where you expose the youth them to, the kind of parents you are. Because you have to make your youth know that this is a musical war, this is not a physical war. Because we over that how this happen is half a lyrical content where someone has been offended because of the lyrical content from his father. And you know, so you know, and why you have to teach the youth them, make them the youth them know from home, you know, like you have to teach them to dance a yard before you send them abroad. You have to teach your youth, Rasta. You have to parents who never even brush them youth teeth. Me, I brushed my 11-year-old teeth a while ago, and when I talk to, if I have a virgin and I mention, say, oh, I there, so I brush my 11-year-old teeth. He must say, what? Am I 5-year-old? Me not doing that for him. I say, well, you're a father who probably want a whipping. Because a 5-year-old not supposed to be brushing his or her own teeth, Rasta. That's something where a father supposed to be doing, or a mother supposed to be doing for that child. So a lot of I and I as parents allow them to be mothers and fathers before time, or allow certain responsibilities or certain trust unto the youth them before time, Rasta, and cause the youth them to go out of themselves and start commit stuff like this that has been happened. There's no healing. You know, because both family in pain anyway you take it. Because a young youth now I look on 22 years, even though must survive 22 years, you can stick him with a knife tomorrow. I say, boy, where you do? I say, your father a superstar, where you do? So I stick him with a knife and him die. You know, we are be ruffian in the street, we not fool, we know what prison is. You know, it can be the ending of the youth. So, you know, we just have to pray for the best still. Pray for both family. I pray for both family for the best.
I have one more thing to say on it. As I have 3 musical artists with me now, yeah? How do you find time to separate music from the war? You know when you make a track and say, my boss, someone wants to have a lyrical clash with you, say I send for you and you send for me. How do we keep it so that no lives are caused, no guns are caused, it just stays a lyrical show and people vote who wins, whatever, you get a trophy, shake hands, have a drink at the end, everyone's happy. Why can't that be back again? Remember the Sting? I feel like because the Sting was taken away, and war in all of these in Jamaica, that they have nowhere to have this lyrical battle. Look at some of the artists that are out now. They're wicked. You could imagine them on stage clashing each other and the Sting would sell off. You know it would. But it's like these artists are bringing out these songs, but they've got nothing to do. Does that make sense? You can make the baddest song going, but you're not going on a stage at the moment to sing or clash an artist because it's not happening.
And
so how do you separate the music from
Dbja Daddy? So you see the friendly nature going on with Be The Man and Bounty Killer right now. You see the man them are making note that we are friends, even though we have lyrical content we're not clashing with each other. Lieutenant Stitchy and Ricky Stero, Daddy Blue, Papa San, they used to be lyrical artists in a dance, clash some tough lyrics, and them hug up each other at the end of the clash. It was no physical war. And I kind of glad the way Beanie Man and Bounty Killer turned out because a lot of people did get misguided during that kind of era. A lot of people had been misguided during the era of Bounty Killer and Beanie Man.
I feel, if I can jump in, I feel like the verses with Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, that's actually finally earn the elevation that they deserve and the gratitude for people to know them worldwide, even though they're worldwide artists anyway. But that verses, look how many people, and take that around the world and tour Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer, and they'd never run out of lyrical content. Never. They could do European tour, they could do a UK tour, a Jamaica tour, of the whole Caribbean, and they could do that, not the same clash, but the same type of platform, and it'd sell off everywhere, bro. And that's two of the biggest people in dancehall at the time who have united. If them two can unite after all the things that they've been through, Lord God, surely everybody else can.
Yo, man, I have to cut. Yo, I've got cut soon, you know. You know what time, because you don't know the thing go already.
Well, I was going to say, this is actually coming to the end. Of course, bro, we've gone about 15 minutes over, but people, it is how it is. We've come to the end of DBJA Podcast Sundays, episode 3. We started, we finished. It was a blessing to link up with my boss, John Eisness, A1 Russ. People, same time again, next Sunday, 7 p.m. UK times, 2 o'clock in the afternoon in DC, and 2 o'clock in Jamaica. Until then, boom, bam, we are gone. Selassie, I bless.
Mad.